Hello, my name is Ella Swan, and I watched the Alive Inside documentary, which mostly focuses on how music can reconnect people with dementia and other disorders. From watching this, it really changed the way I think about memory and the role music can play in healthcare, especially in occupational therapy. While I was watching it, I had one of those wow moments where everything sort of just came together and it made a lot of sense. At the beginning of the documentary, they talk about giving elderly people with dementia music that they love. There's a scene, the first scene that we see, where an elderly woman puts on headphones, and the documentary shows visuals of memories from throughout her life, which I thought was very special and nice to see. So, this moment honestly really made me really emotional because it reminded me so much of my grandfather Tom. My grandfather Tom was diagnosed with dementia about 5 years ago. He still lives with my grandmother in their home, and she mostly takes care of him now. About 3 years ago, my family went to Hawaii together with my grandma and grandpa, and that was actually the first time we've ever gone on vacation with them. So when we usually go on vacation, my dad loves playing music. Anywhere we go, he's constantly playing it, which is so nice to hear. It just brings out such a good vibe. And then during that Hawaii trip, he of course was playing music. So after we would come back from the beach, we would sit on the balcony and we would just listen to music together, and especially music that my grandfather loved, like Frank Sinatra and a lot of his other favorites, because it just made him so happy to hear the songs, and he lit up in those moments, and it was just so amazing to experience and see him like that. And he would tell us stories from when he was younger, and he just seemed so happy and present, and he wasn't worrying about anything because it was so nice for him not to worry. A lot of that trip he was worrying about things and just everything. So when we had the music playing, he was calm, he was happy, and just very present in that moment. And we also went to luau's and boats that were playing different kinds of music. And the one night we were all singing together, laughing, and just, yeah, singing his favorite music. And at that time, I didn't really think about this in a deeper way, or even like during holidays or cookouts with my family. We always play music, and he was just always so happy during that time, listening to it, singing to it, and it just really brings out his self. So when I was younger, he was such a happy, outgoing person. And now that the years have passed and I've gotten older and he has gotten diagnosed with dementia, he definitely has gotten quieter. He is happy, very happy still, but it's just not the same self as he was. So seeing him at this time open up with this music is so amazing, and I did not realize it was because of the music until after this documentary. I had a wow moment and realized that music might have been helping him open up and be even more happier. So another moment in the documentary that also stood out to me was Henry. Before he had the headphones on, he was so quiet and he barely spoke. But as soon as the music started playing, he changed so much, which shocked me so much. I did not expect that at all. His face lit up and he started singing. He began talking about his life and his memories. And again, I was just so shocked, honestly, with how quickly he changed from one way to another. And he was just so happy. It was such a good moment to see and watch. And this also made me very hopeful, since dementia is such a bad, difficult disease. Seeing someone suddenly reconnect with themselves through music was so emotional for me to see, but it also made me so happy to see that there is something that could make these people open up and find joy in a way. And also another thing that really surprised me was when they mentioned that 5 million people are living with dementia. That is such an amazing or incredible like sad number, and I cannot believe that it is that many. So I can't even wrap my head around that 5 million. And seeing what my grandfather goes through has been difficult enough. So thinking about how many other families are experiencing this is overwhelming, honestly. Like, it is a lot to think about how many other people are going through the same thing. But also, at the same time, it was so nice and so like warming to see the documentary, knowing that so many people are finding joy from music, and it is encouraging them to reconnect with themselves and feel joy again. Also, I found it really interesting from the documentary when they describe music as almost like a back door into the brain. I find it very interesting to learn about dementia and see how it affects different parts of the brain. So knowing that parts of the brain process music aren't often as affected by dementia as other areas was very interesting for me. It really stuck out to me, that part. And after watching the documentary, I actually wrote down a couple of things that I could share with my parents and my grandmother that I thought would be helpful for them to learn and know. And I also thought it was a good idea for my grandmother to start playing more music in the house when my grandfather starts getting confused or overwhelmed or even a little bit angry. So also, this moment really stuck out to me a lot in the documentary when the one guy said that it is so easy for them to prescribe medication like antidepressants that cost thousands of dollars a year. But when it comes to something like providing a music system that maybe costs like $40, it is so much harder for them to get because it's not considered a medical intervention. And that is just shocking to me. Knowing that music has such a powerful emotional way of someone like expressing themselves in ways that medication can't is sad that they're not able to get these devices so easily. So a lot of people are able to experience this joy. Denise, I loved that moment. Since she is a bipolar resident, it seemed like her emotions were a lot, and it was just hard to watch. I felt bad, like seeing her all over the place, and she was very clear with expressing how she feels. But she was so happy when she started listening to the music. She stood up and began dancing, and she was walking in a walker for every day for 2 years, which is a long time. And then just seeing her push the walker away and dance was amazing to see. It made me so happy seeing her move and enjoy herself like that. It was just such a powerful moment to see and experience, or see her experience. But yeah, this documentary really made me think about how music could be used in occupational therapy. Since occupational therapists focus on helping people participate in daily activities and improve their daily quality of life, music can be an amazing therapeutic tool because it connects people with so many things like emotions or memories, or even can motivate them to do things. For example, occupational therapists could use personalized playlists that include songs from a patient's childhood or early adulthood, and these songs could hold strong emotional memories and can help patients reconnect with their past. Music could also be helped. Music can be used to help patients with daily activities. For example, it could be used to motivate someone when they're getting dressed or walking or even doing a daily activity through a therapy session. So the rhythm of the music can sometimes help people move more easily or stay engaged. For me personally, I know music really helps me get things done and feel more motivated to do things. So you could match the music, which I think is a really good idea. Like upbeat songs, you could encourage movement, like exercises. during exercises, you could use the upbeat music, or for like relaxed self-care, you could use more calming music. For me personally, after a long day, I get unready with music and it really helps me relax. Like, I find music very helpful, and I think it could help other people a lot in occupational therapy. And also, music can help with emotional regulation. People with dementia experience anxiety, like my grandfather, and or even depression. So listening to familiar music can help them calm down, reduce the stress, and even improve their mood, which would be so helpful. And it really connects to them, the music, and motivates them to participate in daily therapy activities, in just daily activities. For example, a patient who normally refuses to walk or exercise might be more excited to do this or more willing to if there's music that inspires them or even energizes them to get them moving and to get them doing these exercises and walking. But overall, this documentary really changed the way I think about music, especially that I am in school and healthcare. I thought it was very important for me to watch this, and I'm very happy that I did. It really showed me that music or therapy doesn't always have to involve medication or just the traditional treatments. Sometimes something as simple as music can reconnect people to their memories in just a sense of self, which is so important. I also really liked watching this documentary because it was very personal for me because of my grandfather. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.